We're going to walk you through the installation of the J&L oil separator for your 4.3 liter Silverado or Sierra. Including the J&L kit is a fully assembled oil separator with quick connect fittings, a mounting bracket and mounting screws. The tools you'll need for installation is a 13mm socket, a short extension, a ratchet, a Phillips head screwdriver, and light oil or grease. Let's get started. We're going to go ahead and prep our oil separator for the install. You'll notice there's a J&L logo on the oil separator and there's a J&L logo on your bracket. We're going to align these two logos and use the supplied screws to mount the bracket to the oil separator. Now that that's complete, we have one other thing to do before we're ready to install this. Inside of these fittings, there's two O-rings. You can see it. There's a yellow and a brown one. We're going to want to lubricate these O-rings. These are come dry, so this is where you're going to use your oil. If you have this nifty little oil dropper, you can use that, but also just dipping a Q-tip into oil, and it could be any old engine oil. You're going to stick that Q-tip in there and lubricate those O-rings on both fittings. And what that's going to do is help these fittings slide right into place on the factory connections, and avoid, if you accidentally push them on a little crooked, that they don't kick the O-ring out and cause you an issue. But once that's complete, you're good to go. Now we'll locate and remove our factory PCV line. So on the driver's side valve cover, to kind of put you into place here, we got our oil fill cap, and then right behind that, this line here, it's shaped almost like a question mark, is our PCV line. Now to remove this, there is a button on the back side of this fitting that is protruding. We're going to push that button and pull up on the fitting, and that's going to release, okay? Now we're going to need to twist this line around. You see that there? It's going to want to pull this little coil pack cover with it, so just get the line by it and you're going to see the other button. You're going to press that and pull up. So again, these are the buttons. See how it's protruding on that side, and when you press it, it releases. And now that that's out of the way, we're ready to continue. Our mounting location is off of this 13mm bolt that holds this brace. So we're going to need to remove that bolt. Once you have the bolt removed, grab your oil separator assembly, and you're going to reuse that same bolt. We're not going to tighten this all the way yet. We'll do that after we make our hose connections, get everything routed nice. You'll notice your hoses have a natural bend to them. The reason for this hose comes on a giant roll, so it's rolled up. So for shipping, they may be routed one way to fit in the box better without, kinking. But for our installation, we want to take advantage of this natural curvature of this hose and have it pointed down. So you should be able to just grab the hose and twist it. See how that just angled down, and we should be able to do the same with the other side. So we're going to twist this hose around. Yours might be a little stiffer to move initially. This was just assembled. We do assemble them with grease, so this should keep everything moving. But as you see here, how this is going to lay out. So we're going to take our shorter line on the O side of the can. It's going to go to our intake manifold fitting that is sticking straight up. Now our longer hose, we're going to go in between this hose here and then this fuel line. Kind of pushes up and out of the way too, but we're going to go in between these two, push right down onto the valve cover fitting. Now our fittings, same idea as the factory ones. They have a push button, so just push that and they pull right off. So if you ever need to remove that, and then once we have our hoses where we want them, all we got to do is just tighten up our mounting bolt. So Only thing I'm gonna do is check the clearance between this line here, which I believe is a positive wire running from the battery. So I'm gonna pull my oil separator a little bit away from it to give it a little bit of an air gap and tighten my bolt. That does complete your installation. Pretty simple one here. What you're gonna wanna do, drive your vehicle for 500, 1,000 miles or so, and then check it. Check it, you just unscrew it, dump the contents into wherever you recycle used oil. Many auto parts store will take it. When you reinstall in the reservoir, spin it until it stops on the O-ring, and then give it about another half a turn. That's all she needs. The tighter you make it, the harder it is to get off later down the line once this thing heat cycles a few hundred times. So check it at 1,000. Should give you an idea how frequently you really need to service it. Most of the GM applications put about 1 ounce of oil into the oil separator every 1,000 miles. Sometimes more, sometimes less. This reservoir here holds 3 ounces of fluid. It is compatible with our extension that doubles the capacity. The extension can be added at any time. It simply screws between the top and the current reservoir. So if you're looking for additional capacity to maybe make it between your oil changes, say you're changing your oil at 5,000 miles, you may have to service this in between in the short form, but in the long form, it could make it. Also, for you guys and gals that live in a cold climate in the winter times, so you're in the Midwest, Northeast, Canada, you're gonna get some water intrusion in this, some condensation in the winter months. And the reason for that is that this air that's entering this catch can from the motor is 200, 250 degrees, but this thing is mounted up and getting blasted with cold air when you drive down the road, so the can's staying cold, and you get the bathroom effect, the shower effect, as I like to call it. If you ever take a hot shower in a cold bathroom, you know the mirror fogs up, you get condensation on your ceiling, your walls. Same thing's happening in the oil separator. So that water is gonna mix with the oil, it's gonna look like a milkshake, but anyway, your collection rate is going to drastically increase into the winter months. So you just want to check it more frequently until you get a better idea of how your vehicle reacts. One other thing we want to note, installing an oil separator, you're making, remember that factory PCV line was maybe 6 inches, had a piece of foam on it. Once you install this oil separator, your lines are a little longer, you have a reservoir here. It is normal to hear the air moving through the oil separator. If you pinch the line, you'll hear the noise go away. No noise. So, completely normal. Just wanted to cover that, as that's a common question we get on these GMs. Thanks for watching.